What kind of caramel are we talking about?
Werther's.
No, man.
Jimmy Russell has Werther's probably in his pocket. He's probably the old man that gives you the Werther's when you...
No. Each barrel he puts one in there.
Just drops one in there.
You'll never know.
Hello and welcome everyone to episode 13 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you're going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Michael, Anthony, and Steven. Hey fellas.
So we go out last night, right? First time I think I've been out, and obviously over a year.
And it was a lot of outing.
Yeah, we
several
know,
places.
I mean, it felt like normal, right?
Yep.
Would you agree, Steven?
Yep.
You were with us, so felt like normal. We already had it planned out. You know, we had reservations. Things were good. We went to a couple places. Living in Lexington, everybody has bourbon, right? Every bar you go to has a really good selection of bourbon. The problem is, this is where my dilemma came in, right? So
Can't wait to hear about
so
this.
you start looking at it ahead of time before you go, you know, sometimes on their websites, and you look at it, the prices are super high. You know, it's just crazy high. And I don't know if that's just because it's Lexington or just
Do they even know what they have?
They don't know what they have. You know, I don't know what it is, but you get to the point where at least I'm at the point where I have a lot of stuff at home, and then when you go out, the stuff that you're looking at is all so expensive that you end up just looking at it and not trying any of it. And then so the only things that you can try, you look at that you can afford to try, you look at and you're like, I've got all that at home. Why would I pay $9 for a
Or more.
Yeah, or more for a Buffalo Trace pour,
Yeah.
you know, at this bar when I could just go home and have it for free, you know?
I'm glad you mentioned that because I often tell people that are just getting into bourbon or they're seasoned bourbon people, and I'm like, if I got basically the best bourbon bar at my house, how can I go out and drink bourbon?
Right, why would I go
try
out?
other things, right?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't, because you go out and you order a margarita on the rocks.
Yeah.
You gotta eat that
Well, I mean, you
margarita.
know, think about what the profit they're making. They're selling a pour of Buffalo Trace for $8 or $9.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're making, like $200 on that bottle. You know?
Oh, yeah,
$20 bottle.
Yeah, on a $20 bottle. Isn't that crazy to think
Yeah.
about? Steve and I were just, what we end up happening is you just end up standing up there and just staring and pointing, you know? You're like, oh, look, they got that. And, oh, look, there's an Eagle Rare 17 up there. Oh, look, there's the Van Winkle Rye, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You just start pointing. You don't even bother to look at the prices on those.
Well, I agree with you, and I was going to say, I was spring meat season at Keeneland a couple days ago, and I will say I looked at their bourbon list, and they had Sazerac 18 for $53 a pour, and I was actually considering it. I actually thought,
Well, that's something that's so hard to get.
exactly, I thought, I'm never going to be able to try it. That's a decent price, but I didn't end up getting it. But still, I had that moment that you're talking about when you're looking at
Keeneland's
that.
one of those unique places, though, where they're going to get the people that win big, you know, or have a
Yeah.
lot of money. And
Well, it's not me, you're saying, right?
Or they
Yeah,
come
not
in
me.
from out of
Yeah.
come in from out of town, and they, you know, they've got money to spend, and you know,
Yeah.
and they probably don't ever see a Sazerac 18 wherever they're at, even at the best bourbon bar in their town, you know.
That's true, and I don't want to. I mean, I want you to go back to talking about what you guys experienced when you were out, because I saw that and I thought that's not that bad, and I thought, am I crazy thinking that Sazerac 18 at $53 a pour is not bad?
No, I mean,
It's not. You're never going to see it, and if
Yeah.
you want to try it, I mean, that's the only chance to
considering
get
we
it.
saw, I was just looking briefly at their list, and Blanton's was like $32 at this place.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And I guarantee you they go through a lot of Blanton.
I'm sure
you
they
know?
do. They probably get people buying it all the time.
Which, by the way, I see people on Facebook, like in other cities and towns, where they go to a bourbon bar, a place that has a good selection of bourbon, and you know, I'm thinking, man, that's pathetic. You know, that's your all's best selection. But at the same time, I'm never going to buy the other stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I would have liked to know that price on that Eagle Rare 17 last night, just
Yeah.
because that's something that you don't see out.
No, I mean, we've been to extensive bourbon bars that don't have that. I don't know how this place has only been open a year, and 9 months of it was a pandemic. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how they scored one of those.
Let's see what you guys think. When I go to Keeneland, for those that don't know, it's a horse racing place, and it is a beautiful, beautiful setting compared to every other place in the country. And two things I love getting at Keeneland: the burgoo.
Okay.
I knew he was going to say burgoo.
Yep. And the bread pudding.
The bread pudding, yeah.
Yeah, it has a nice bourbon glaze sauce over it. It is to die. They give it to you warm.
Yeah, no, I did have the bread pudding, and it was amazing. It was absolutely 100% amazing. And the Burgoo, somebody else that we were hanging out with had that as well, but I've never had the opportunity, so I don't know.
It's great. I love it.
I always get a beer. Like, I don't know why, but the beers at Keeneland just taste better. I don't know if it's poured out of the side of a trailer. You know how they do that, but with the tap on the side. But man, I don't know. But I always get the Burgoo too. It's rib sticking. You know,
on those like cold spring days, you go get that Burgoo and it is so good.
Good stuff.
Well, fellas, this week we have a new bottle. It's a bottle of Wild Turkey Rare Breed Barrel Proof.
Fantastic. Well, I am happy to be with you gentlemen talking about this bottle tonight because it's one that I've been very fond of in the past, but I'm not so sure how it is today. And what I mean is this bottle has been around for quite a while. It's actually, even though we're drinking on a 2020 tonight, this bottle has been around since 1991. And so the distillery is Wild Turkey Distillery, which is Campari as the parent company. The bottle date of the bottle that we're drinking tonight is a 2020. The ABV is 58.4%, which is 116.8 proof. So when it comes to the age is a little bit of a mystery, but it's rumored to be a combination of 6, 8, and 12-year-old barrels. And there's been no reason to question that. It's been rumored to be a well-aged product for quite a while since it's been in existence. The mash bill is 73% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley, and it comes in with an MSRP at around $40.
Maybe $14 a pour.
$14 a pour, maybe, but it's $40 for the MSRP, and that's a little bit about this bottle.
All right, well, a little bit about what it looks like. Let me just tell you, first of all, it's a 750, but they should probably give you like 780 because you're going to spill 30 milliliters of it trying to pour it, okay? Because it's a good-looking bottle with the cap on, but when you take the cap off, it's like lacking a... I know I've complained about the lip before on like
this is very lacking.
This has zero lip, and that just causes the liquid to just run down the side of the bottle when you're trying to pour it.
I think we're starting to understand why the lip is so important.
Yeah, I think we get that because you can kind of, attach the lip to the side of the glass, and it keeps it from doing that. But this one doesn't have that. From what I understand, I was looking online. It's the same bottle for that, and I think the Kentucky Spirit, which was a Wild Turkey one. You know, they used to have the one that. The Kentucky Spirit was the one that was kind of shaped like a turkey, you know, and with the feathers out. So now it's just basically the same bottle as all of their other ones, I think, or a couple of their other ones. It's a good-looking whiskey bottle, though. And it feels bigger than 750.
It does.
Yeah.
Very large when you grab it with your hand.
It's got a good bird on there. I like to have that bird for Thanksgiving right there. It's a big fat one right there.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice bourbon glaze on it.
Yeah, it is barrel proof, like you talked about. Are they all the same? 116.8. Is that like? I mean, if you're in California and you're buying a Wild Turkey Rare Breed, you're going to get 116.8 proof too.
Yeah, nowadays they all are. This has been this switch that they made to this new bottle, new label, and everything. I think took place around like 17 or 18. But before that, you had a little bit slightly different bottle with a little bit more traditional looking label that was a little bit more pale. And they actually used to denote which batches they were doing. They don't really do that anymore. They just have 17 on. There's really no information about a batch. It's just all the same thing. But prior to that, I think they had something like 15 batches of Rare Breed since 1991. And now they've kind of gone with like a consistent product. But it looks a lot different than it used to.
Other than that, I mean, it's a pretty solid looking thing. Like I said, with the cap on, they got a good... Ooh, that cork is falling apart, guys.
What kind of cork is it, though?
Yeah.
It's already falling apart?
That's bad.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
I'm trying not to shimmy it out there.
Okay.
That's gone.
So it's real cork, but it's falling
apart. Take 5 points off right there.
Wow,
that cork's already busted in half. It's split.
So we don't like, I don't like synthetic corks, but...
Maybe they need synthetic cork.
No doubt.
They do.
Yeah.
Because it's 1 point for synthetic then.
I know, yeah. You take the cork off... Going back to synthetic cork, I had the new riff again the other night, and that synthetic cork, though, it really makes a tight seal, though, you know? But
there you go.
And it wouldn't do that right there, I can promise you that.
Wouldn't split on you?
Shocking.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's not like this bottle's been sitting around for 10 years or anything.
I agree. If they were here right now, if Jimmy and Eddie Russell were here, I'd say fine and 50 cents.
I don't know. Have you seen Jimmy Russell? He's been in bed for 3 hours. Probably. It's 10:30 at night.
Well, he is like what, one of the oldest,
he's
if
like
not
100
the
years
oldest
old.
master distiller in Kentucky right now, maybe in the world.
I don't know. He's old.
Wow.
Though. See pictures of him.
Respect.
Right when we saw this bottle tonight and we poured it, we commented on the color. Very dark.
Very deep, rich.
Yeah.
Copper. Very good.
It's one of those colors that you're going to comment about when you see it, unlike the majority of stuff that we've kind of stopped talking about the color.
So what causes that? Just because it's barrel proof and it's not diluted as much? But at the same time, it's only 116. I say only 116, but there's a lot higher proof ones out there.
I wish I knew more about why some whiskey appeared darker than others, but I know that's a big point of contention in the game, is whether a whiskey looks darker for different reasons. And I mean, for this one, it looks very amazing. It looks very rich and deep.
Should we go for our first notes?
Sure.
Find out. I think it's sweet.
All right, I'm picking up a note that I didn't pick up earlier, but I'm getting caramel. But
Yep.
I'm getting very specific caramel.
What kind of caramel?
Werther's.
No, man.
Jimmy Russell has Werther's probably in his pocket. He's probably the old man that gives you the Werther's when you...
There might be
No, each barrel he puts one in there to age one in there.
They'll never know.
I'm getting fresh made caramel off the stove, like still bubbling. It's warm. I can smell warm caramel that's got that sweetness to it.
I like that.
But the caramel just has a warm note to it.
I think if I were to follow it up, I would say it's almost like, it's not that caramel and marshmallows are the same, but like I feel like there's a little bit of marshmallow, a little bit, very faint.
Get a little bit of honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely honey and a little bit of citrus, maybe a little bit of orange.
A little orange, I agree. Subtle.
It's very nice. So I mean, there's nothing. I mean,
It smells like the rind of the orange.
oh yeah, so like a zest almost.
Zest.
It's one of the more aromatic ones that we've had.
Yeah, for sure. I always feel like with bourbon, if there's a little bit of age or good age to the bourbon, you're gonna definitely smell it in the nose, and this one's not an exception. I don't think.
Yeah, considering the composition of it.
Yeah.
With all the different ages,
Good complexity. I like it.
you get that brown sugar.
A little bit, yeah, actually.
And the rye is nice. It's not too much.
Yeah, nothing's overpowering, and that's the main thing. Like, there's been stuff we've tasted that's flat.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very
It's
flat,
pretty
but this
balanced.
has a lot of stuff going on, and it's balanced.
All right, should we go for our sips?
It's got a good Kentucky hug to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Woo!
I don't think
That's one
it's
that makes you cough a little bit.
really. I was just gonna say I don't think it feels like it's 116.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't had other whiskeys that are between 100 and 120 proof. This one definitely is smooth. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I would describe. The flavors are pleasing, nice finish. It's very good. It's solid, I think. I feel like what we're tasting, a little bit of that, like the oak is a little sweet or a wet oak,
Yeah.
but it's not like funky.
Because that sweetness is still coming through, even though it's
Yeah.
wet. We smell that little bit of wet wood.
Yep. The vanilla and caramel for sure.
I don't know how much I'm getting though on the palate. I mean, I'm getting the proof coming through
I get the citrus sort of zest, but some of the other things are probably lost.
because of the proof.
I'm not sure if it's a proof or what it is. I get the citrus zest, sort of, that you talked about, the
Yeah.
orange zest.
It's not bad. It's not in no way is
Yeah,
it bad.
no.
It's just I wonder if the proof is just kind of overshadowing some of the notes we were smelling.
The proof gets me.
Yeah, it's there,
Yeah.
but it's not harsh.
No, it's probably not.
I'm
I'm just not a high proof guy, I guess.
I mean, compared to the Four Roses 94 proof,
Yeah.
this is a lot smoother.
I personally think so as well.
And this is
I actually was
this
going
is
to say,
22 points higher.
yeah, if I wasn't going to go like all rogue here, I might go grab that Four Roses and start drinking it and see how it tastes next to this, but we'll see.
So is this the highest proof thing that we've tried?
It might be.
Makers
actually.
was like 110, right?
Yeah,
So
Makers is 110, 109.
I think so.
Let me get our big boy
everything
pants
else was
on and try
in
something
line.
higher.
Yeah, I know. I feel like a man tonight.
Got to bust out the barrel proof, and then things become different. What's interesting about this though is it's chill filtered, right? It doesn't say not chill filtered on it, right?
I don't see that.
Yeah, and so even though they tell you on their website and other places there's no water added to anything, and you have this rumored 6, 8, 12-year-old barrels. I almost feel like if this were chill filtered or weren't chill filtered, it might be better. It might actually provide more of a mouthfeel and be
Because
a
of the
little bit
fat, because of the
thicker.
fats?
Yeah, the fats and stuff. If it were a little bit, if it weren't. So that's interesting because a lot of the heavy hitters are not chill filtered. Mm-hmm. And they're competing there. So, but again, for what, this is a $40 bottle?
Why do you think companies throw in 12-year stuff in a blend like that? 6, 8, 12-year. Like, I feel like you throw that number 12 on a bottle, you can get a lot of money for
Are
it.
you saying if they had the... If they
if you did a Wild Turkey 12-year or whatever.
Probably because they probably put a lower percentage of the 12-year.
So
but
it
the
probably makes it
12-year
last longer, I guess.
Yeah,
but
that 12-year is going to give it some of those notes,
I guess
would
there's
think.
probably some economics in that where you take like, all right, what could I get for all of these barrels of 12-year, at whatever price. But if I spread that 12-year out with a bunch of other junk, we could probably get this price. So I'm sure that's higher than the 12-year. I just feel like, all right, so like I compare it to, you get your 50 cents off at Kroger gas, you can get up to 17 gallons. Don't use your 50 cents on 4 gallons,
No.
right? You wait till you're running on empty before you go fill up. You got 12-year barrels there. Why you waste it in a $40 bottle when you could throw just a single 12-year out there for...
So the Wild Turkey, was it Spirit? What's the other?
Yeah, I think it's Kentucky Spirit.
Spirit is what?
Yeah.
Do we know anything about that?
That's single barrel.
That's a single barrel.
Single barrel, yeah.
Do we know the age at all?
It varies. I mean, you got Russell's single barrel and
I'll say from what I read, like, what's the difference? Like, why would you get the Kentucky Spirit when you could get the Russell's, which is going to be a single barrel in 10 years?
Well,
price maybe.
I will yield.
Maybe now I guess it's probably a little cheaper. The Kentucky Spirit is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would yield to other people that are more versed in wild turkey. I know in Lexington we got a lot of people that are very big turkey fanatics, and so it's one of those things where maybe we don't understand enough about it. But I will say that having tasted this and having opened a bottle of single barrel over the weekend, this is very good.
Yeah.
This I actually would say it's probably better than the single barrel I opened over the weekend, the Russell single barrel. So with turkey, to me, it's kind of all a mystery, but I will say that whatever they're doing between the Spirit, Rare Breed, and single barrel line, they're doing something right because they all taste very good.
I've never really had a Wild Turkey anything other than 101. So
Okay.
This is far better than
and
101.
a couple pours of a Russell Reserve.
Yeah.
Not really anything that I've ever really gotten into. Not really no reason why. Just
And I enjoy the Russell's Reserve, the bottle that I have.
Okay.
Warehouse D.
I think Wild Turkey just has a stigma to it. Like the name just kind of, I think people probably picture that as just kind of a cheap.
Cheap.
Cheap
Oh,
thing.
absolutely, yeah. They have to. That's just the thing. It's like even Old Crow. There's people that romanticize about Old Crow, but Old Crow is known as a cheap bottle of whiskey that you could open it up and end up ripping some tree limbs off, maybe taking some stop signs out or doing whatever you're doing, but you're not.
Wait, what are you doing? You're taking stop signs out of the ground?
Yeah. You drink too much Old Crow and
man,
you're taking stop signs out of the ground. There you go.
Do you think, with that stigma with Wild Turkey, do you feel like there's more in a $40 bottle? It's worth more in a $40 bottle?
I personally do. I don't know. What do you think, Michael?
I don't know. I mean, I was just thinking, like, as a barrel proof, it's about the cheapest barrel proof probably there is out there, isn't there? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, unless
Other
you
than
get
like
the craft,
the
like
benchmark, whatever, barrel
Yeah.
proof. That's probably a really good price. That's what you're.
Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm saying. Like, are they having to keep the price down? Is there some stigma out there because of Wild Turkey? They feel like they can't get maybe another $10 out of this bottle.
On a side note, when I was student teaching, I had a girl in my class that her parents owned a turkey farm. So right before Thanksgiving, we challenged her to bring in a video of the process, and probably this is 2003. So in 2021, you probably couldn't get away with this, but we watched a pretty violent video of turkeys going through the process of
Start to finish?
Yes.
Oh.
Of being, ready for Thanksgiving. You probably couldn't do that now in class, but I have to have a permission slip. But
Maybe an ad class.
I mean, we gave everybody the opportunity to step out of the room if they wanted to,
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with anything, but
That's turkey in it.
they weren't wild turkeys. They were professionally trained or whatever you call it.
They doing tricks.
They were
juggling.
they were groomed to be your Thanksgiving dinner.
I definitely think this bottle is interesting to say the least because of how many different lines it straddles, right? You got barrel proof, there's single barrel, there's a whole bunch of different things, but then it's priced at $40 and it's kind of in a interesting proof and price range.
I probably just glanced right over this every time. And that's nothing against, it's just because it was Wild Turkey and it was kind of always there and it's barrel proof.
It is always there, too.
You know?
It's always there. It's always available.
It is. Well, I'll tell you guys this. When I bought this bottle, there was a massive shelf full of it on maybe like a Wednesday, and I picked it up on a Saturday, and there was probably like 3 bottles there. So it's like 36 to 3 bottles. So in Lexington anyway, it definitely is getting bought up a lot.
And they've got the Rare Breed Rye. It's harder to get, right? Like that. I see that on.
I've seen it on shelves.
I see it on. Well, I know, but it's still hard to get. I think in a lot of places.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I see it on secondary. I mean, people
I
not for much.
I saw it the other day at Total Wine,
but
sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
Pretty high proof rye.
No
It
doubt.
just makes me think, though, that if this wasn't a $40 bottle, would it be sitting there? Would people be buying it and trying to sell it for...
You're saying if it was priced higher?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, fellas, would you pass, try, or buy on the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Barrel Proof?
I would try. I mean, I like it, but I'm not a barrel proof person, so I'm probably not buying a whole bottle of it.
All right. That's fair enough. I am actually going to be a buy for the person who wants to try a barrel proof bourbon. And so that's a very specific thing. If I am an experienced drinker, I'm probably going to be a try, but a buy for the person who is wanting to experience barrel proof, because this will give you everything that you want to experience, I feel like, and a little bit more. And also at a price that's not going to like kill your pocket. And so I am a buy/try, but more like maybe 55% buy.
You brought up some good points about, for the price, it's the lowest, like we talked about, it's the lowest, barrel proof out there. So it's good so you can try it out and see if you like the barrel proof. I've always heard good things about this before we reviewed it tonight. So I think it held its own, with what I've heard and trying it. I feel like I would buy it, even as, an experienced bourbon taster. It's just nice to have around. You don't care about drinking this one.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive.
Yeah, if it's at $40.
Well, you're not going to drink it in a night anyway.
No.
So
Yeah.
$40, right?
Yeah. Yeah, before you get down, like, you're not going to be like Woodford Rye,
No.
drinking it and forgetting about it. You're going to know you're drinking it.
And I will say, when we talk about barrel proof, this is 116. There's a lot of things out there that are a lot higher than this. You know?
Absolutely.
So,
And some of those are, we start talking barrel proof, it's usually some high dollar bottles.
yeah, exactly.
You got your Stags and your, just name it, they have their own, barrel proofs out there. So
Yep.
if you're unsure if you like a barrel proof, this would be a great one to just try.
I agree, and kudos to Wild Turkey for keeping this affordable, because the rumor is this whole line extension was started as a counter to Booker's single barrel Booker's, and the fact that they kept it at a very low price over the years and Booker's has gone up in price is actually kind of great, I think.
Well, that's because Wild Turkey doesn't slap some random picture on there that calls it like itself a ham or a football or a rocking chair, and
Maybe you
They can-
gave them an advice in their marketing department. Maybe they need to do that.
you
right?
see those people on Facebook looking for the country ham Bookers and all that stuff.
So if this was Wild Turkey Rare Breed Keeneland season horse racing / going into the summer months with some
Be
cool
good.
graphic, it could maybe get it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, or like a baseball card type, on the
Yes.
side of it. Yeah.
So speaking of the summer months, we're approaching the bourbon dead season as far as new releases go, because we're rolling out of spring and it's not quite fall yet, the big releases.
Yeah.
I think this bottle fits in, something to try during that season if you haven't had it yet. New for most people, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, because when you have the fall releases, the big season, and the spring you get some good ones. But now we're kind of going to that time where nothing new is, well, there's some companies trying. They're trying to keep us interested, but at the end of the day, when you hit this time period to like August, there's not a whole lot going on. You might get stuff hanging out at the distributor that you didn't know about that was supposed to be released 6 months ago. But okay,
There's nothing more I want in the summer months than a good
Barrel proof.
Right, you just come back in from mowing the grass and like give me something.
Mix it with a seltzer.
Oh man, a little barrel proof seltzer would be great.
There you go.
No, but you're right. You're right. I mean, I know my trips looking around the bourbon aisle have slowed down just because I know there's nothing really in it. There's nothing really coming out, other than the same stuff that people are always looking for that come out regularly. You're not getting, or a Special Reserve doesn't come out only in the spring and the fall. But, that's something that's, comes out once a month or so. But yeah, there's no special releases or anything like that. I know we don't do lotteries in any parking lots anymore like we used to around here. But I wish they would do those in the summer. Like why we got to do those in December? You know, like
just hold the product until the summer. Let us all go out
that's
and
fine.
enjoy
I'll wait.
the warm
Like
weather.
as long as I know when it's coming, like I'll do it. But I don't want to stand out there when it's 40 degrees and
have wool socks on and boots and 3 layers. And
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I agree 100%.
However, I bet if you had a lottery in the summer, it would get stupid.
Yeah,
like it would be people. It'd be a party. You know, people would be out there drinking and
I'm sure
tailgating. Yeah, it would be. It'd be kind of fun once.
Yeah,
probably a lot of liability on that business, but
I don't know. I went to Punxsutawney for Groundhog Day for many years, and
yeah, my wife wants to try that sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely do it. It's a lot of fun. You hang out and tailgate at a Walmart parking lot, so that's the thing. Like you got
that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what you do. You hang out and tailgate at a Walmart parking lot, and then you go down to Gobbler's Knob or whatever the hell they call it, and then you go down there.
You have to drive there or walk there from the parking lot.
Oh, you take a bus. They got buses.
Oh, it's a bus.
Did you say Slobber's Knob?
Yes, I think I did.
That's barrel proof for you.
I mean, come on. That's Pennsylvania. People make fun of Kentucky, but you got a place called Gobbler's Knob or Slobber's Knob or whatever you say.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worse than anything we have here.
Well, it may be, but it was a hell of a time. It was a fun time, and I remember going into Walmart and hanging out in the parking lot and going down to a place to be named Gobbler's Knob and having a great time. So it's all good.
Does anybody know who? Have you ever heard? Steven's kind of the Netflix guy in our group here. Have you ever heard of Tom Segura? Do you know who that is at all?
You know, I'm really bad with actual actors and actresses' names. Faces I may recognize.
Well, anyway, here's a good trend that I've seen locally. Is he's apparently coming to Comedy Off Broadway, the comedy club around here, tickets. And people are trading like this guy. This guy is trading an old label Elijah Craig barrel proof and a Weller full proof store pick for tickets. And I'm texting my buddies. I'm like, this is the 5th person I've seen that have been wanting to trade bourbon for these tickets. Who is this dude? And like, why are people wanting to give $500 for them?
Maybe it's just they're in the house too much from COVID.
Maybe I don't know. And I'm sure, obviously, Comedy Off Broadway, the comedy club,
is Tom Segura worth
capacity,
it? So is he worth it?
I don't know.
Can you just watch him off YouTube?
That's what I'm thinking. He's got a Netflix special. Why can't you just go turn on your TV? You know, for $7.99 you can buy the month subscription
and save your bourbon. Right?
Go out and spend the $493 other dollars on some bourbon.
I don't get it, but I mean, hey, look, go. I wish I had tickets because I could be getting good stuff right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Maybe that's my next thing is to go out and start anticipating big name people are coming to town.
I was going to say, post-COVID times, you're going to have to figure out where the stars are at, and then you can buy the tickets, and then you can secure delicious bourbons from it.
It's like wrestling figures. Have y'all seen this? The WWE wrestling figures. Go to Walmart or Target. They sell out in like a second. People know when they're coming.
Yep.
And they come in and they buy them and they take them and they put them on eBay. And
wrestling what?
Figurines, like the toys.
Oh, I think they said fingers.
No, figures. And I mean, there's a world out there, boys, of other stuff other than bourbon that people go crazy over.
And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at TheMashupKY. Also, let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.